theory crafting, game math, and funny game videos. Welcome to Bob's Corner. Alright guys, welcome to my channel. This is my second video that I upload, and I'm trying to be a little bit better about uploading stuff. I've been focusing a whole lot on the stream, and I figured, YouTube is supposed to be a video platform, not just a streaming platform. So I'll try to be better about that. And this is a new mini segment that I'm trying out. Hopefully it's gonna take off. Hopefully you guys are gonna like it. If you like it, I'll try to make it look a bit more professional. But this is a trial run that I just really wanted to, try. So we'll try it this way. If you like it, I will make it look way better and way cooler in the future. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to try to answer questions that get brought up on my stream or asked in the comment sections or just PM'd to me in game, and give you guys an in-depth answer of what I think is good and what I think is bad and stuff like that. So some guys asked on my stream yesterday about professions and what I think of them and what my professions are gonna be with my different characters, and I figured let's give you guys a fairly good long answer of what I think of professions, what I want to use them for, and what I think they're good for. So first off, we need to look at all the professions that we have. We're gonna start by lumping them into two categories, which we have here on the left. They're going to be gathering and crafting. So gathering is going to be herbalism, skinning, mining, fishing. Fairly self-evident, I hope. Stuff you get to make other things. And then crafting is going to be all the rest of the professions. The professions that you make stuff out of, like alchemy, engineering, tailoring, enchanting, cooking, and so on. So these are all the professions we have. We have gathering and crafting. Then we can break them down a little bit more, and we can also remove things that aren't going to sell. So things that we're going to just use for ourselves, which would be sort of like engineering and first aid, which I haven't even mentioned at all. So let's remove engineering, because engineering is basically for yourself. You're going to do things for yourself. You're not going to sell anything with it, really. So we have consumables, which are alchemy and cooking. Stuff that you use and then they're gone forever. So you drink a potion, you will never drink that same potion again. You will have to get a new potion or a new flask or a new elixir or a new food buff every single time you die, or when it runs out. You will need to get a new one. Gearing is stuff that's going to last you for a bit longer. I put enchanting in here as well, because you put enchant on your gear, and that enchant is going to stay with you until you get a new piece of gear. If you craft something like a true faith vestment, you're going to have that true faith vestment until you choose to no longer have it. It's going to last for a day, for a week, for a month, or for forever, depending on when you want to switch it out. And we also have gathering here again. Same thing there, stuff we get. And when we lump them up in these categories, we can see that alchemy and cooking, since they are consumables and they are not bind on pickup, and you don't need to, put them on other people's stuff, they are things that we can put on auction house. So if we look down in the left-hand corner, we have a graph. We have auctions and we have crafting fee. So things that we can put up for auction are usually going to be a little bit better when we want to sell them and we want to be a little bit lazy. So we will use alchemy to craft potions and elixirs mainly, and we will put those on the auction house. People will buy them, and it doesn't matter where we are when they buy stuff from our auction house. We can even put them up using our alt, so we can have like a bank alt sitting in one of the major cities. The only reason we have that alt is to go and put things on the auction house and to get the money and then send the money over to your main. So that is a very good thing about putting things on the auction house. So that is a steady increase. So that is why we have just a straight line, because that increase in income doesn't matter where we are. As long as we craft at some point, like if we craft a bunch of stuff for the rest of the week and we do it in an hour, we can have that hour spent, and then we can have a week where we put things on the auction house. And when we do things with crafting fees, which is usually meant for gearing and for enchanting, that means that the other person is going to come to you and he's going to bring the materials that are needed. You're going to make something for him and he's going to pay you a specific fee for you making it. So let's say you want to make a Crusader enchant. So if you make a Crusader enchant on someone's weapon, he brings the materials and trades it to you, so you have no initial cost. And then he gives you 10 gold or something as a fee for you crafting the Crusader enchant. So that is why we have that results in something that I call a lump sum. So every single time you craft something, you get a fairly big amount of money, but you don't get it all the time. You have to be in the city. You need to physically be there, and you need to physically look, well, not physically, but you need to look for people to buy your stuff, and you need to find the buyer. That buyer needs to come to you. It takes a while, and it is fairly time consuming, but you are rewarded with a nice big lump of cash. So if we look down here on the diagram again, we'll see that you get a spike of income. Then nothing happens because you don't find a buyer, or you're out doing something else. And then you get a huge spike of income again because you found a couple buyers. And then you wanted to go do a battleground, and you can't sell your stuff while in the battleground. And then you get a spike because someone messaged you and said like, hey, I heard you've got a Crusader. Can you please put it on my sword? And you did that. You got a spike, and then you logged off. And then you log back in, and you manage to sell one lousy enchant, and then nothing really happens because nobody wants to buy him for a while. So that keeps on happening. Like, you want to sell stuff, but you need to actually find the buyer yourself. You need to be online, and the buyer needs to be online at the same time. So it's a bit time consuming, but you can get a very good income. So if you look down in the bottom right hand corner, we see a couple positives and a couple negatives of both consumables and gearing stuff when we sell it, or as we call it, crafting fee and auctions. So a good thing about crafting fee is that it is very possible to have a great income from it, especially if you find a rare recipe. So if you're a blacksmith and you've got like the Lionheart's helm, and you're the first or one of the first to get it on the server, you're going to be able to sell that baby for a lot of cash, and you're going to get nice incomes of money whenever someone buys it. But as soon as someone has bought the thing, they're not going to buy it again. The same person will never buy 2 Lionheart helmets, because why would he have it? He can only equip one. Same with like enchanting. So once someone has enchanted Crusader on his weapon, you need to wait for him to find a new weapon so you can enchant Crusader again. Same thing, of course, goes for like spell power or healing or whatever on someone's gear. You need to wait for that person to find a new piece of gear before they want to buy it again. And another good thing is that the buyer has the materials most of the time. So you don't need to bother about getting materials. You don't need to go out in the world and find it. You don't need to buy it from the auction house. The guy will come to you with it. So once you find your guy that wants to buy it from you, you're all set. Like, you will just get the cash. So that is a good thing as well. A negative is that it's sort of patch dependent, which means that if we're late in a patch, say like the month before Blackwing Lair comes, or the month before Encourage or something, the month before something new and big happens and hits, people are mostly going to have all the gear that they want from the old instances and from the old raids. So if you are going for enchanting, people are already going to have their gear, so it's going to be fairly hard to find someone to buy the stuff from you. Same goes for tailoring. Like, it's kind of hard and iffy to sell stuff with tailoring and make money right now on Elysium and Zethkar, but once Zul'Gurub comes and the new patterns come, then they will be able to make a bit more money. So it sort of depends on what recipes are out, what people want, how their gearing is going and stuff like that. And another negative thing is that you need to physically be right there. You need to physically meet with him in game. So you will need to go to him. You will need to be online. He needs to be online. You need to find each other. That is a little bit time consuming, and it's a bit annoying because you can't do anything else while you're selling your enchants. It's going to be kind of hard to be out, say that you're a blacksmith and you're out in like Eastern Plaguelands doing some grinding for Argent Dawn rep or whatever. You're not going to be able to craft the Lionheart helm out there. You need to go to a place where you can craft it for the guy, and that guy needs to come find you, so you need to go somewhere else to do it. So those are some negatives and positives about crafting fees. The auctions, they are very nice because it's a constant income. So you can have stuff on the auction house and you can do whatever you want. You can do raiding, instances, grinding, battlegrounds, whatever. It doesn't matter because your stuff is on the auction house. The auction house is going to just keep that going for you. And it's a constant income because people will always want to have those things. It doesn't matter where you're at in a patch. People are still going to use potions. People are still going to want to use, like if they want to try hard, they're going to have food buffs. They're going to have flasks. They're going to have elixirs. They will still have these things regardless of where we're at in a patch. It doesn't matter if they have gear or not. It doesn't really matter at all. If you want to PvP and want to be try hard about it, you want to be able to use healing potions. So it doesn't matter if you're rank 1 or if you're rank 13, you're still going to want to have those healing potions, and people are always going to PvP to push the PvP ranks. So stuff like alchemy is really good when it comes to that. And that is like the main good thing about them. These 3 positives are sort of boiled into that argument that it's a constant income because it's always needed and it's on the auction house, so you can go do other things. The only negative is that it requires materials. So either you can sell the gathering materials if you only have gathering professions, but then you need to go out in the world and find them. Or if you want to get the gathering for yourself and like get the flowers, get the herbs to make your potions, you will need to go out, get them, and then make the potions and then put them on the auction house, which is going to be time consuming. Or you need to buy them, but then you need to buy them cheaper than you can sell the potions for. So however you look at it, the requirements of the material is either going to lower your profit margin or it's going to increase the amount of time that you need to spend on making the cash. So whatever professions you want to go for, if there's something specific that you feel like your class needs or that you want to have on your character, then pick that thing first, and that is mostly going to be up in the gearing. So if you're a priest and you want to heal, True Faith Vestment is going to be best in slot for a very long time. Therefore, you might want to go tailoring. But afterwards, when you just want to have your profession to make money, just think of how much time you want to invest in it. If you just want a small bit of profit all the time that keeps on ticking, you should probably go into something consumable, like alchemy. But if you want to be the guy that actually stands in Ironforge or Grimoire and just shouts out that he's got stuff, tries to find people that want to trade him, tries to sell and peddle your wares, if you think that is fun, then you could totally go into gearing, try to sell blacksmith stuff, like get the rare recipes, try to be an enchanter, get those recipes as well and sell that kind of stuff. It is totally up to you what you do. You can always make money from your professions in vanilla World of Warcraft. It is a fantastic thing to have, and it's something that is supposed to be enjoyed in the game. I enjoy doing it as well. So I hope this sort of explains what you can do with your professions and the reasoning behind like what I try to do with my stuff. So I got engineering purely for fun. There's no way I'm going to make money from engineering, but if I want to, when I'm done with engineering, I have mining right now. I'll dump mining and probably get herbalism in order to like work with an alchemist to make potions to put on auctions. So it totally works out that way, right? You need to think about your professions. Do you want to have them for fun? Do you want to have them to make money, or do you want to have them for a specific piece of gear that you want to have that is bind and pick up, right? Those are the main things you need to think about on your profession. And then you can use this guide to try to like maximize your profit or try to find a way that you think is fun to play, right? So if you think it's fun to stand in town and peddle your wares, go for something that is crafting, like blacksmithing and enchanting. And if you just want to have, play the auction house, buy things cheap, transform those wares into something useful for other people, and then put them up on the auction house and make a profit that way. If you think that is a fun gameplay for you, then you should totally go into something consumable like alchemy or cooking. You can actually have both because cooking is a secondary profession. Fantastic stuff to have. All right, guys, I hope you liked this video. Give it a thumbs up. If you've got some other like thing you want me to talk about, thing you want me to like obsess about and then talk to you guys about, and just put it in the comment, send me a whisper in game. And if this is something that you guys enjoy, make sure you subscribe, make sure that you like it so I can see that, you want to see more of this stuff, and I'll make more of it and it'll look even better. Okay, cool. Peace out. I'll see you on the stream, or I'll see you in game, hopefully.